those mentioning Lagos are the reason to elect Tinubu are inflicting injuries to his ambition, Shehu Mahadi. The public commentator and human rights activist Mahdi Shehu has said that using development in Lagos to promote the presidential ambition of the APC presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Tinubu could be doing more harm than good to his aspirations. He said many of the infrastructure developments in Lagos were there before Tinubu became governor in the state in 1999, and it would be wrong to say Tinubu made Lagos. They are having so much hope in Bola Tinubu's achievements in Lagos, but if you search further, before they mention Lagos as the reason for electing Tinubu, the more they inflict injuries. Difficult to heal on his political aspirations for the following reasons. First, 60% of the entire infrastructure that is in Lagos is as a result of two reasons: the status of Lagos as a colony and the status of Lagos as a federal capital. These two statuses confounded on Lagos an advantage of choice infrastructure development before Bola was there. Secondly, if you look at the airport, seaport, national stadium and museum, Third Mainland Bridge, all these solid infrastructures were there much earlier before Tinubu. If you even talk about Bola Tinubu, that he raised the revenue of Lagos, look at the fallacy. During Buba Marwa's time, the revenue of Lagos was 14 billion naira. Annually, by the time he handed over to Tinubu, he raised it to 84 billion. After Tinubu, Fashola raised it to 264 billion, Ambode took it to 468 billion, and the current governor took it to 980 billion by last April 2022. Everybody is saying Bola Tinubu made Lagos. People are insulting the memory of Lateef Jakonde, who was responsible for 40% of low-cost housing units in Lagos. Obafemi Awolowo was responsible for the educational infrastructure and the total enrollment of pupils in primary and secondary schools. It's a shame that these things will not continue, to be honest, because everything has just been, lack of maintenance, so it looks like nothing has happened. But yes, absolutely, I think it does more harm than good. And I think those that are using Lagos as... It's so shameful, I believe. If you're going to use Lagos as, the benchmark and measure for you to solidify your arguments on Tinubu's presidential ambitions, it's a problem. I think that really shows... I think it makes sense why you would vote for Tinubu. If you're going to use Lagos as an example, it shows one who does not know history, who is not looking to learn about history. And again, Lagos being a colony, Lagos or being, the place where literally the market for colonization, literally that's where a lot of transactions took place, first of all. And the fact it's a capital. So then obviously he mentioned the museums, Third Mainland Bridge, all these infrastructures were choice infrastructures. You need to have these kind of things in a capital, right? And I think it's very sad looking at where Lagos is today, because all these things should have been maintained. We're looking at low-cost housing. Wait, what? This even existed? Looking at the state of where Nigeria is, you would say, wow. And it's funny because we're literally retrogressing, and we look at the annual revenue for Lagos and it's increasing. What? 900 billion with Sanwo-Olu, and genuinely everyone is literally like, what has he done? Genuinely, right? And so these funds are increasing, so the development should increase, right? So it's bigger than Tinubu. If you're saying, you explain where Tinubu actually comes in with all this revenue. Is he taking a percentage? If you look at these things, from Fashola, and then Fashola was in the APC. These have been APC candidates. What a surprise! Anyways, I think it does more harm than good to Tinubu's presidential ambition if you're going to use Lagos to support his presidential aim, because really before him, after him, Lagos is Lagos. Lagos is just that place. It has been that place before he came in. So it's in fact, it reflects more on the people that would use these arguments rather than just Tinubu, because I feel like it's very shameful. You're not looking at history. You are actually refusing to look at how Lagos has gone backwards. And for you to choose to ignore these things, you then want to decide the fate of the country. Excuse me. So we understand that the biggest problem really is not necessarily our leaders, but it's really our mindset, to be honest. It really is the mindset. What do you think of your country? How much do you face the truth? How much are you in tune with your reality? Because really, you cannot say you don't see the reality of Lagos and Lagos living, and then you say, wow, this is what Tinubu has created. If anything, if this is what Tinubu has created, you shouldn't be supporting his movement as much. You should literally be as upset. You should be as, excuse me, why is it that we're accounting Lagos's development to you, but my standard of living is getting worse. The pressure is getting worse. Why? If anything, you should be angry and say, well, you developed this state, so what is going on here? And so when things do go wrong, then they say, oh, they're blaming Tinubu, but then look at what they're doing to Lagos. I mean, it's funny. Tinubu only legitimizes Agueros and area boys. God bless you. Exactly. I think this is the thing. And I believe that those are the grassroots. I mean, that's why for a lot of people, they would say the Peter Obi movement, well, bring it to real life. Because really, the people that his reach is not to those online. It isn't. And I guess that has been his strength for years. And we're talking a populous demographic in Lagos. We're talking Agueros and area boys. And so if in the past this has been his strength in bringing these people together, well, I mean, you can't blame Tinubu if that has been his strength. It's been his strength. But really, those that are really in that reality of Tinubu's proximity to area boys, of course they'd be like, excuse me, what are you saying? Of course he's developed Lagos. Of course, because it's their reality. They haven't really stepped outside of where they are and Tinubu's reach to where they are to actually look at Lagos holistically and say, well, is this the state that we want? We need to think for ourselves. We need to stop. We can't be giving our opinions or giving emotional, or incited emotionally to react to certain things and then be in a cycle of no action but just complain, So yes, of course, someone can say, well, his reach is area. Of course, his reach is area boys, and for them, they would defend. And I think those are the main ones really defending, his campaign. And maybe yes, he has done a lot for the grassroots. That again, when you've made an impact, if you've made an impact, I don't think you have to toot your own horn. So maybe for them, the level of impact that he's given to them is worthy for them to say, you know what, he should be the president. And I guess it's the work he's done over the years to reach those people that is working for him now. I don't believe personally, I don't think he's a perfect fit for Nigeria. Not that Nigeria should look for a perfect fit, but the red flags are in front of you, and if you refuse to see it, well, you will not refuse to join in the consequences. But what do you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.